Great. All right. Well, welcome everyone. Thanks, Sarah, for getting us set up. Um, well, maybe we can wait a minute or two, I guess, see if anyone else trickles in. I hate for anybody to miss anything. No, I know this was at the top of everyone's agenda for the days. All right. Welcome into the ASABE joint with AIM meeting orientation and networking 101 session. ASABE is partnered up with the Canadian Society of Ag and Biosystem Engineers as well. So as we know, the meeting's in Toronto this year. And here's our YPC's kind of guide to what you need to know at AIM. My name's Quenton Schneider. I'm the current YPC chair. And then I can Emily introduce herself. She put together a lot of presentation.
Hey, my name's Emily Byers, and I'm the YPC Meetings Council representative. And so my job has kind of been all the programming and planning around the YPC events at AIM this year.
So, I like to get started, see who's all here. If you don't mind, running your name and who you're with and what you do in the chat, just so kind of everyone's familiar with where you're coming from. Gives us kind of a place to start if you've gone to AIM before, how long you've been in ASAB. We kind of get an idea from what you type in. So, everyone, if you would do that, that would be great. Um, I guess a little bit about me. I work for a civil engineer, Clapsaddle Garber Associates, out of Marshalltown, Iowa. Um, uh, and I've been to two AIMs, I think, since I graduated from Iowa State University in 2016. So I mean, apparently it doesn't take much to have the credentials to get this presentation. So you guys will catch on quick. I'm optimistic for everybody here. Emily, how many have you been to?
I think this is my fourth AIM.
Oh,
Yeah. One of those is virtual though, so.
oh yeah. Yeah, I guess I did that one too. That might have been my third. I'll count that. Uh looks like we got a good group here. Mostly first time, eh? Awesome. All right. Well, thanks everyone for showing up. I think we're gonna start off here with a quick video that's on YouTube or the AS. Oh, we'll get the agenda out first. Um, so we're gonna run through a few things, just what AIM's all about, how to prepare for the meeting, so a little bit about the sessions that are offered during AIM, and other considerations, and then personal experiences, how to make the most of the meeting. Now here is the video. I'll try to jump screens. This is also on the ASAB website and on YouTube, I think. So if you want to watch it again, we can do that on your own time. But we'll start here.
seen it, Quentin.
This guide will aid you in navigating all of the events at the ASABE Annual International Meeting. If you are a first-time attendee, or maybe it's been a while, this video is for you. There are 3 big reasons to attend AIM. Sharing emerging research in technical sessions and participating in technical committees that shape ASABE standards. Society business is conducted at AIM through business meetings. Honoring our members and projects are also a large part of the event. Professional development is a great reason to attend AIM. Among society involvement are competitions, community networking, and training. Must-see events include the welcome reception, exhibit hall displays, business meetings, student competitions, award banquets, general session and keynote, tours, foundation events, university and community socials, special sessions, and invited speakers. What are the different committee types in ASABE? Technical committees help organize technical sessions, develop standards, and discuss current issues. Award and competition committees develop rules, select award winners, and promote innovation and success. Society committees promote society priorities, engagement, and promotion projects. Oral, hybrid, and guest speaker sessions all feature a speaker with Q&A. Posters are set up during the scheduled time period. Authors are on hand to answer questions and have a further discussion about the subject of the poster. Technical sessions and standards are organized and maintained by ASABE technical committees. Applied Sciences and Engineering, or ASE. Education, Outreach, and Professional Development, or EOPD. Energy Systems, or ES. Ergonomics, Safety, and Health, or ESH. Information Technology, Sensors and Control Systems, or ITSC. Machinery Systems, or MS. Natural Resources and Environmental Systems, or NRES. Plant, Animal, and Facility Systems, or PAFS. Processing Systems, PRS. Let's learn how you can get involved as a student or young professional. Network, participate in competitions and awards, and build your resume in ASABE. The undergraduate student organization has several activities at AIM. Are you a graduate with a bachelor's degree? Are you 34 years of age or younger? Are you an ASABE member? You are part of the young professional community. Join YPC for several events at AIM. YPC also offers graduate student programming. Let's go over how to prepare for the conference. First, register for the meeting at asabemeetings.org. Set goals for yourself and learn more about the events that you should attend. Prepare your schedule with the meeting app. Dress at the conference is business casual to professional. Bring your resume and business cards and be prepared to collaborate. When you arrive, check in and get familiar with the conference center. We are excited that you are coming to AIM. Make sure you visit asabemeetings.org for all your meeting needs.
Bring back the presentation. All right, is everyone still with us? Because that was confusing. All right, we're back. So as you can see there, that's kind of the overview of what we're going to be talking about the rest of this presentation, but gets you a good kind of glimpse of what you can expect in terms of just the different types of sessions, the communities, committees, what you know, kind of what the dress code is, uh, and good starting point for all of that. And then as it was mentioned in the meeting, the aim, I mean, the purpose is to share kind of everything that's been worked on in the past year related to agriculture and biosystems within all of those different communities. You know, sharing research that was done, trends in the industry, and then kind of give place to identify where further work research can be done. So we got the technical sessions, committee meetings, and the poster presentations. And if you've been on the asabemeetings.org website, it has all of those sessions printed there, but then we'll go over some of that too. So purpose of AIM, it provides an opportunity for professional development and growth for the engineering society, for ag and biosystem engineering. There's training sessions called out as the CPDs, that's continued professional development sessions. There's so many opportunities for networking, socials, just within the kind of in between times while you're going to the sessions, you know, talking to the presenters afterwards in the hallways. And then for the students, the undergrads, there's a lot of competitions. Saw somewhere someone here's in Fountain Wars, you know, there's the robotics. And if you haven't already signed up, it's too late, but definitely go watch them if you're curious for next year's stuff. Also within AIM, there's all of the different communities have their business meetings, typically either kind of the weeks before met virtually and after meet virtually, and then during AIM. There's a lot of live business meetings just to sort of take care of in-house you know, functions, you know, update communities on progress for different maybe standards that are being written or elections for new leadership in the business meetings, and then to set and then there's also award functions where they hand out all the different like Young Engineer of the Year award. I can't even think of it right now, but so there'll be those meetings as well. And then I don't know if we've had much time to explore the AIM orientation tool. If anyone wanted to, there's the QR code right there. You could flash that quick and kind of open it up. See if I can find maybe at the end here we can kind of circle back to it, but it's a good overview for what sessions are available and kind of how to schedule them out the best. Emily, if you have a chance to play around on that at all, or anything you can speak to for it?
Yeah, I've already made my schedule on it, so it's set and ready to go. But it's really just a good way to you can kind of take a small survey to input your interests into it, and then it's going to spit out some sessions that correlate with what you may be interested in. And so it's just a good way to get oriented with AIM. However, if you go to the next slide, it's important to note that this orientation tool is not the same thing as the meeting app. However, both serve similar functions and the fact that you can kind of make your schedule within both. But the meeting app is for everyone who's attending AIM, and it's the actual program that's going to get updated if there's any changes to the schedule. So if we have timing changes or if you want to find out where each of the sessions will be located, the meeting app is kind of your go-to place when you're at AIM. However, the orientation tool can kind of be a good starting point as you're preparing for AIM, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's nice because it has like a little survey. I like the survey part of it. So if you're new, it has like different things it tells you to go to based on your age or what you're interested in. So yeah, I definitely start off with the AIM orientation tool, figure out what some of the events on there that seem really cool, and then look at the meeting app when you're actually there to see where they'll be at and if any times have changed. Oh, and sorry, I'm Savannah. I'm also on YPC's board. I do our social media. So.
Thanks for hopping in, Savannah. Anyone can talk, really, honestly. If you got questions, or any tidbits to add, if you've been there before, please share. I maybe a question that I have, is the meeting app available when you arrive in AIM? I'm assuming there's registration signage for that.
So the meeting app was released yesterday. So if you're registered for AIM, you should have gotten an email about that. If you didn't, let us know right away. If you haven't yet registered for AIM and are planning to do so on site, you'll get instructions on how to access that right away once your registration is processed.
Gotcha. So that should be available here for those that have registered. Cool. As you probably saw in that video, the dress code for the meeting is kind of that business casual, business professional line. So, I mean, you don't have to wear I guess look professional is basically the bottom line. Also kind of remember things, pack your resume if you're kind of in the job hunting mode or kind of looking for a grad school position. Bring your CV. Business cards help. Try to remember people's names or help them kind of remember your name to pass out. And then also if you have a LinkedIn page that you could send somebody to, that's nice to have it updated so that they're looking at the person that they met at AIM. If you're bringing a presentation, or if you are presenting, make sure to have your presentation set up and ready and know who to contact or who to ask questions to if you're running into some problems getting lined up. And then usually there's a little notebook to take notes with, but if you got your own pad and paper, then that would be a good idea to bring along as well for the technical sessions. To go kind of navigate around the meeting, recommend using the meeting app and then looking through the registration package when you pick it up at the sign-in booth. As always, ASABE staff is super helpful and can point you where you need to be. And then there's also a lot of volunteers that are floating around the venue, also willing to help you out. And then YPC booth is usually up front and center. So if there's people there, definitely go up to them, ask them your questions, and YPC is always there to help out as well. Probably see Emily there, Savannah.
Yeah, and Emily got some cool swag to give out too, so I'm excited for that.
Since we're talking about it, the membership booth has an exceptional amount of free stuff this year because we're trying to get rid of all the old logo gear. So if you need like a bag, if you need like pens, we have so much stuff. So please come get some so we don't have to bring it all back home.
Awesome. Load up over at the membership booth. Kind of dive into the ASABE structure for, I guess, what to expect when you're trying to figure out where you should spend most of your time at AIM. So there's kind of all these designators for each of the different technical sessions and committee meetings and stuff. So there's certain things you want to look out for. The executive committee, usually there's a board of trustees meeting, and then any session that leads with that E designator, kind of stands for exec. So there's a few sessions there. I don't know if those are open to everyone or how those work, but you might still be able to pop in and learn something. Um, Membership groups, YPC, we have several events. Emily can probably speak to those here later in the presentation. We'll go through what YPC is offering, and then the International Student Branch, ISB has a couple meetings as well, and social. There is strategic initiatives from ASABE, the Circular Bioeconomy Systems. CBSI Day is Sunday, I believe. And they have several sessions in. And I don't know if, and the other strategic initiative is the Alliance for Modernizing African Agri-Food Systems, AMA. I'm not sure if they have any special sessions at AIM, but that would kind of just be another one along the lines with the CBSI. And then all the councils have their business meetings. So the Meetings Council, Standards and Technical Council, Membership Development Council, Publications, and E2050 Global Engagement Council. Each of those groups will have their meetings throughout AIM. And typically, I think if you want to sit in on them and try to learn about what's going on in those council meetings, those are open. If it's interesting to you, you're curious about it, and you just happen to open a door and that's what's going on, take a seat and try to learn something. So, and then of course, kind of what everyone's big reason there for is all the technical communities. So each technical community has several sub branches for different committees within those. So you'll see like the abbreviated designator, and then a number behind it, and each of those reference one of their subcommittees. So we got and I know they said all these in the video too, but the Applied Science and Engineering, Educational Outreach and Professional Development, kind of if you're in that academia line, there's a lot of good sessions there. Energy systems, ergonomics, safety and health, information technology, sensors and control systems. Have a huge number of sessions this year, I think. Machinery systems, NRES, natural resources, and environmental systems that usually have a lot of sessions too. And then plant animal facility systems and processing systems. So again, I mean, kind of check that abbreviation out front, and that'll give you a good guide to kind of what the gist of the session will include. And as far as how to decide what to go to, just look for things that you're interested in and show up kind of based on what session's hosting it. You can go at any time, you can leave at any time, but just be polite doing it. Don't make a bunch of noise, or chatter trying to get in and out of some of those, especially if you get tucked into a room. Some of those are kind of tight people, so just do your best to be polite while somebody's speaking, or try not to get up while somebody's speaking, unless you have to. Take notes on presentations. Feel free to follow up with the presenters afterwards. Ask questions. I think a lot of the presenters like when there's questions for them at the end of their talks. And then I guess it's recommended not to take photos and videos during the presentation unless you have permission. Technical committees, kind of as I mentioned, you can see on the little diagram there how the different subcommittees within the larger community. So you get in this case here, NRES, Natural Resources, Environmental Systems. 01 is sort of the administrative, the overseeing body for all the subcommittees, and then each of the number designators has something related to, say, irrigation or drainage or wetlands. So there's a few of those that are all broken out. The committees, basically it's just people that do work in that field. So it's all people with similar interests. And together they are responsible for developing standards, setting up the next meeting, forming the technical sessions for next year, kind of grouping different presentations together. So also, kind of if you want to have that sort of input in the future, it's good to sit in on some of those that you're interested in and try to learn something. Maybe meet some of the folks there, because people that are running it, they want to include new people, because they want to share, their I'll say they want to share their knowledge, but also they want to help other people kind of learn that there's a little bit of responsibility to some of these committees, but it's kind of something that you can take on as you grow in your career. It really helps to get to know these groups with similar interests as you. Something that you might want to watch out for, I guess, is in the committee meetings, business meetings, they go through the Robert's Rule of Order. So if you're not familiar with that, it's just how the committees stay on track and make sure everyone gets a voice, procedurally, throughout the meetings. I guess if you're not familiar at all with it, then it's probably kind of a deep dive for you to go and check out the robertsrules.org there. I know, like, the YPC business meeting is run under Robert's Rules of Order. And I'll admit I'm not the best at it, at organizing a meeting that way, but that is the procedure we follow. Professional settings advice. So, everyone here has kind of been in those conferences, or even just at your university, where you know the protocol. When you meet someone, shake their hand, that kind of get to know them a little bit. Do your best to introduce yourself with more than just the yes or no questions and answers. It helps sort of break the ice and meet and just get you a better feel for who you're talking to and what they're all about. Again, just being respectful and polite during the sessions is really important. Don't have your phone blasting every text message that you have, and either talk quietly during the session if you need to, or else take it outside where you can have a conversation. The big heavy hitter events that I would recommend you going to, the general session, keynote speakers, first thing Monday morning, kind of the official kickoff to the week, even though there are events on Sunday. And then check out your school alumni reception. Those are all in the meeting agenda program. But a lot of the universities have socials or in the evenings, so you can catch up with people from your university. The Distinguished Lecture Series, each technical community has one, and they also bring in some more kind of renowned speakers, I guess, in that field. It's good opportunity to hear what's going on. And then the kind of the big wrap up is the awards luncheon, Wednesday afternoon. Again, that's when they kind of go through all the big list of awards for the year and introduce the new leadership. ISB has a couple events. I guess if there's someone from ISB on here that would care to speak up on that, I would let them, or else I can probably take it away.
Quentin, I'm not from ISB, but I scheduled other events, so I'm happy to talk about it if you would like.
Oh, if you would like, Sarah, I would appreciate it.
Sure. So the ISB has two meetings over AIM, and they're designed to kind of span AIM. So the first meeting is a that's on the evening 6 to 7. The room is indicated in the meeting app. Kind of kickoff meeting where they introduce kind of a fun game that they hold throughout AIM. It's like a bingo sort of game that's designed to get first-time attendees or younger attendees in particular to experience AIM as best they can. So it has them go to lots of different events. You go to the events, you get a bingo sticker. At the end of AIM, when you go to the business meeting on Tuesday at 3 o'clock, you can turn in that bingo card and get some prizes. So it's kind of a fun way for students to gather together. And again, this is for undergraduate students to gather together, experience AIM, network between their schools. It's a lot of fun. So that first event is pretty casual, really just a social. And then the second event is a business meeting where and that's on Tuesday at 3. That's where they nominate for the new class of ISB officers. And that's the majority of what they do at their meetings. It's pretty driven by the students, so they may have made changes to their agendas. I'm not aware of that yet, but it'll be a lot of fun. And if you fit into that demographic of an undergraduate student, join us. It's a good time.
Sounds good. Thank you, Sarah.
Mhm.
And then YPC meetings. Again, YPC members are those that have graduated with their bachelor's and are younger than 35. I'll let Emily probably walk through these.
Yeah, so we have several different sessions scheduled throughout AIM, and they're kind of all related to professional development as well as networking. And then we also have our business meetings, actually getting the business done that YPC is set to do. So yeah, on Sunday's events, we have our CPD, so that's the continuing education course. And this one is on computational fluid dynamics, simulation control, and environment ag. And so for a CPD, it is required that you register in advance and you also have to pay a fee. But it's a good way to learn a new skill each year at AIM. And a lot of times there's a bunch of different CPDs that range from kind of technical skills as well as maybe more soft skills too that you could work on as well. So something if you aren't able to do it this year to look out for in the future. And then also on Sunday in the afternoon before we go to kind of the cocktail hour welcome reception is the AIM presentation workshop. And so this is going to be structured just like a workshop. So if you've never really presented before, whether it's a poster or an oral presentation, this may be a good opportunity for you to show up. We can have a little bit of networking and get to know each other. And then we can kind of split off into groups and work on our presentations and get an opportunity to practice maybe with your small group and ask any questions you have about what to expect, as well as how to optimize your presentation time. So then after that, we can head over to the reception hour. And then our last Sunday evening after the reception is the YPC social. And anyone really is welcome to come join us on the social. It's free to attend. We're going to meet and we're going to walk over about a 5-minute walk to a venue where maybe we can have some dinner, some drinks if you're able, and then just really kind of relax and get to know each other and get prepared for really the meat of AIM to get started.
Yeah, highly recommend the social. It's a good way to kick it off.
And then starting off, we used to do this on Sundays, but we kind of moved it to hopefully have more people be able to participate. But every year we do a YPC fun run, and so you don't need any sort of athletic ability to do this. You can even just do a 1 mile walk with your friends, and you don't technically need to be registered this year because it's free to do. So please, if you're able, just show up. I have a route already set up for us, and we can go on a short run and then get cleaned up and head over to the welcome session as well, that I think starts at 8 that day. So it's going to be a quick turnaround, but I think we can make it.
It's fun.
And that might be it for Monday. And then Tuesday, we have a couple events. We have our career fair. And this year is a little challenging being in Toronto and the job market that we're working with. But at the career fair, we have several different universities signed up to attend, as well as a couple industries. And there will be job postings that will be in your meeting app and also posted there at the career fair for you to look at. And so this is a good time to just go and talk. Even if you're not on the job market right now, you can go and interact with the different people that have a booth there. And it's kind of a come and go situation. So if you're interested, go ahead and bring your resume or CV. This would be a good time to hand those out. But also, if you don't have those, don't feel like you can't attend. So you can still go walk around and just kind of get your name out there and talk to people as well. And then and then kind of in the evening, I think it's maybe at 5. I'm blanking on when our business meeting time is, but it'll just be anyone again can come, and it's kind of more the structured part of YPC sessions that can be a little dragging, but it's important that we kind of go over what all YPC has done this year, go over kind of how AIM has been going, and it's really the opportunity we use to get feedback from the community on how we can improve the next year. And it's also where we can recruit members at large to join us as well throughout that year in a leadership position, and then also hopefully be able to announce our new officers.
That's 5 to 6 on Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been changed since I made these. Sorry. I will update that. Yeah, 5 and 5:45 now.
Perfect. Yeah, everything's in the meeting app too. So if you just schedule it in there, everything will be updated. And then our last event is kind of our big one that I've been working on a lot. And so if you're able to attend, please do. Again, you don't have to have any sort of registration required to attend, but it's a career path panel. And so it's open to really undergrads, graduate students, postdocs, or even if you're starting out in your career, but maybe looking for a change, this is a really good place to go. And so we're going to have an industry representative there to talk about their experience, a dean of a college to talk about his experience in an administrative role and kind of the academic market right now. And then we'll have hopefully 2 additional faculty and staff at a university show up to talk about differences in a teaching role versus differences in a more research or extension oriented role. And so it's about an hour-and-a-half session where we'll just kind of get to know our panelists, have some pre-questions that they can answer, and then hopefully be an open Q&A. So if this is a time that you have specific questions for any types of those positions, please bring those ahead of time, and then you'll have the time to ask them as well. But that's kind of all of the main program we have scheduled for AIM. So hopefully you guys can attend some of those sessions.
Yeah, lots to do. Oh, so I mean, you're gonna be running into all these people from all over. So it's prime opportunity to network with new people, people that you maybe never cross otherwise. I mean, things to think about. Just ask what they're working on, what they kind of like about where they're at, or what they maybe don't like. Try to maybe learn something that you could use in your research or in your job. Are there kind of new buzzwords or other things that you haven't heard that you should maybe look into? I mean, everything under the sun is kind of open to ask about as far as how it relates to your kind of professional growth. So I'd recommend just striking up a conversation with anybody there, and you probably learn something. Especially if you keep, if you keep seeing the same person over and over again, the same sessions, and then maybe, yeah, you probably have more in common than not. So it's a good idea to kind of talk to them. There's the registration booth, and the meetings website has the policies, harassment and discrimination. If you run into any of that, please let ASAB staff know, because we definitely need to nip that, if that's occurring. So approach that help registration booth, and let somebody there know. Um, if you need more information about anything, again, YPC members, I think on their name cards have the yellow ribbons. Feel free to reach out to any of them. Any YPC members there, the ASAB t-shirt, those are the volunteer staff for the conference. To ask them if you got questions, and then approach that registration booth in the staff area. Again, there's so many people there. Just feel free to strike up a conversation. It's a great way to get to know people, get to know new things. Try something new, go to a different session, maybe go to something that you're not directly involved with. You might be able to learn something even that way. I usually go to the socials. Super fun way to meet people in a kind of more casual atmosphere. And then, yeah, around the coffee table, there's kind of people wandering around looking at poster sessions and stuff. So definitely take the time to look through those, and see who's around those areas as well. Final Q&A. If anybody's got questions for Emily or Savannah or myself or Sarah, feel free to speak up or type them in to the chat there, and we can answer the best we can.
As you're thinking about some questions, maybe I'll give, I guess, my best advice on how to tackle AIM. I think, everything we said here, is correct. I guess I would reiterate to make sure to attend, we're all there to give presentations likely or attend student competitions. So those are givens that you're going to be going to those and getting information out of them anyway. But one thing that can be kind of scary for students or first timers is going to one of those technical community meetings. But I think that's really important for us to get involved in and attend. And so my advice is to go with maybe a grad student who's really involved, maybe even your academic advisor or someone else at your school who's involved in those sessions, and your kind of interests are related to them. Ask if you can tag along, attend, and maybe you just want to sit and observe the first time. And that's okay, because at the very least, they're getting to know your name and your face. And then next year you can start to volunteer. But if you feel like you're up to it, please feel free to volunteer, because everyone there is looking for help. They have to fill certain leadership roles to be on all those committees. And so they really are looking for fresh new faces to take up those positions. And so that's like my best advice, is to make sure you attend at least one of those, but you can attend. I'm pretty heavily involved in 2 of them, for example. So there's no limit as well.
Yeah, that's a good idea to kind of tag along with somebody too. I like that, because they know someone who's been there before and knows the ropes. It's nice if you got that opportunity.
Yeah, and I just want to add on to that. One thing is follow us on our social medias. I always have to plug that because we'll be posting throughout the week. I'll be posting throughout the week over there some of the different things that we'll be doing. And then definitely going to the social on the first day that we're there is, I think, probably one of the biggest things that I also found really beneficial, because this will be my 3rd time. But my first time I was there, I didn't really know many people because there wasn't a big group from my school going. And I met people at the social and just kind of like hung out with them the rest of the week, which is really great. Kind of made the rest of the week a lot easier. And then the business meeting at the end is also a really great thing to go to because We host events, YPC hosts events throughout the year, but it's the one time that we're actually able to talk to people in person and figure out what y'all want. And then also you can always learn more about joining on our little board that we have. We'll still be doing nominations for members at large too. So just cool to hear what we've been doing the past year and kind of get your input.
Thanks, man. Anybody else have, are there questions out there? There's gotta be something.
Sure, I'll ask a quick question. Hi everyone. I'm Dylan. I'm from University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign in the Agricultural and Biological Engineering Department. So I was just wondering if there are any, whether it's a technical session or other AIM event that requires registration beforehand.
There are a number
So-
of events
Oh, go
that require a prior registration, but if it does, it will say so in the app. So if there's anything that like has lunch included, but isn't like a society-wide event, you'll need to register for that ahead of time. And almost everything, with the exception of a couple of tours, there are still tickets available. So if you want to go to the foundation dinner, which should be a really good time this year, there's like going to be a mystery troupe. It's going to be odd and weird and probably pretty funny and awkward, but it'll be a good time. And there's tickets for that available. There's tickets for tours. There's tickets for lunch events. So if you have any events you'd like to attend that require prior registration, you can get those tickets at registration. But otherwise, if the app doesn't indicate registration is required, you can just show up to whatever you'd like. Almost every single thing at AIM is open to all of the attendees. Almost, the app will say otherwise, if it's otherwise.
Awesome. I don't know if I've downloaded the app yet.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. You would have gotten an invitation from Jessica Bell in the meetings department with a password and access code.
Yeah, it
But
was
if you need help with
yesterday. I've
that-
already been looking at it.
Yeah, and if anybody needs help with anything, has any questions, feel free to email me. I'm going to be all over the place at AIM, so if you see me, please say hello. If you have questions in person, please ask, but I'm going to be running all over the place. But I'll be on my email all day, every day, and I'm just Rodriguez@asabe.org, and I'll drop it in the chat if anybody needs anything.
Thank you.
I had a question really quickly. I might have missed it. You guys might have said it earlier, but just so I'm clear, the way that you sign up for these events is through the app, and then you pay for tickets when you get there?
No, so if there's an event that requires additional registration, like a lunch event, whatever else, you'll need to register. So if you've already registered for AIM, you have access to all of the free events throughout AIM. If you want to go to a lunch or a tour or something, you'll just need to see Jessica at the registration desk and buy a ticket there.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
There's quite a few tours this year.
Yeah, I know. I'm going on the cruise. They have like a boat cruise, sunset cruise. I'm
Yeah.
going on that one. I'm really excited for that.
Nice.
Toronto's a beautiful city, and our local planning group did a good job coming up with some interesting tours, some technical tours and, just touristy type things.
Also, I think I forgot to say it, which I'm upset with myself, but I don't know if I mentioned YPC is also hosting a licensure lunch and learn on Tuesday during lunch. And so that does require pre-registration because we are serving a free lunch to the first 25 people that register for it. But if you're thinking about taking your FE or you've taken your FE and thinking about taking your PE, this is a great opportunity to go and kind of learn some tips and tricks, ask any questions you have about what it takes to be a licensed engineer or why it's important. So also be on the lookout for that one.
Yes, do that. Definitely sign up. I don't know if you reached the 25 people yet, but even if you're not interested at all, go and get the lunch.
Yeah, we still have a couple of tickets left.
All right. No more. Can't shake any more out of you.
But yeah, like I said, me, Emily, and Sarah will be there the whole for most of the week. I'll be there the whole week. So if you ever see us, stop by, say hi. Um, we've been doing this for a few years now, so it's fun.
AIM is
Gross.
really fun. I'm not an engineer, but there's something so special about having so many people focused on these really specific disciplines in the same place. I don't think there's a larger gathering of ag and bioengineers anywhere in the world. It's really incredible. And while it is a tremendous amount of work for staff, we all look forward to seeing everybody and getting to see those presentations and the competitions. It's wonderful. I get to see you all this weekend. And yeah, if you need anything, please let us know.
Yeah, safe travels, everyone. Looking
Yeah,
forward to
come
seeing
up
you.
at. All right. Yeah, thanks everybody for joining.
See y'all.
Thank you guys. Have a good one.
See you soon.